Hey guys, it's Pachi here, and in this video I'm going to show you what's actually working for you to book calls from cold outreach, and we are going to talk about cold email mainly here. So why am I making this video? I'm actually making this video because last week it was the first week we launched campaigns for one of our clients. Let me check it here, and we booked 5 calls, 5 high quality calls, and it may not seem like an a big amount of calls. We saw bigger. For example, here I have a case study in which we booked 102 sales calls within the first 30 days of the partnership. So you can calculate it's way more, at least 20 per week. And we have a video case study myself with the clients here. But I'd like to touch on something that is quite interesting, is that this guy here, he's a consultant, and he was growing through referrals, word of mouth, and sometimes inbound leads from content. But he never tried cold outreach, never ran ads, and he never had a predictable way to book calls. And this week, last week, today is Sunday, we booked 5 calls for him, so 1 call per day. And as you can see, on Thursday, he was super excited about it. 2 appointments, 3 calls booked, boom. The first call was fire. And he's telling me that basically the guy was making 9 million per year. And he already asked about what my client was offering, and that he was interested basically in buying his services. Okay, so it was a great call. As you can see here, it's the calendar link. The calendar screenshot, 5 events. You can see that it was over the past week. And the name of the event is Intro Podcast. So now you may ask, what is Intro Podcast? Is he running a podcast? What is it? So I want to tell you about what cold outreach is good for and how cold outreach evolved over time. So cold outreach is good if you do want a predictable way to book calls for a quite cheap amount of money. So with around $500 per month, you have everything you need to start booking at least 1 call per day with your ICP and close these calls at a 20% close rate. So basically it will equate in 1 client per week, not counting the sales cycle. But you get the point here. And cold outreach is great also if you don't have access to advertising. So what do I mean by this? What I usually recommend is to never get into advertising, especially meta advertising, if you do not have at least $3,000 in ad spend, so money you can spend on ads every single month. Otherwise, you may not get the best results because you won't get enough data to optimize the campaigns and so on. So if you do not have 3K for marketing, basically for lead gen, stay with cold outreach, get the first clients like this to grow the revenue, and with the new revenue that you are making, you can reinvest into ads. And this is what we are going to do here. So now let me tell you about what's working today. Okay, so obviously you can see that I have lots and lots of case studies. You can find other case studies on the channel. But what's working today is quite interesting, because again, you can easily add 80 up to 100K per month to your baseline revenue, which equates to around 1 million per year, leveraging the MMVP method that we've created, basically positioning yourself as the market's most valuable player. Because today, if you do send direct outreach, cold email, so hey, I'm this, I'm doing that, here is my case study, I thought it would be relevant because you're doing this, it won't work, okay? You may get a few calls if you send thousands and thousands of emails, but you will burn your you will burn your image doing this. And even though some people will receive it and they may have the problem, they may need a solution, they won't reply because they simply get too many emails every single day. So what we want to do is to position yourself again as the market's most valuable player, meaning that you will be like top of the food chain in the market. People will see you as an expert and they will basically want to buy from you. So how do you do this? It's easy to do it with content over time. It's quite easy to build status with advertising. because people go to you, right? You have a video, for example, into the Instagram feeds. They see you, it's interesting. They book a call, they basically come to you. But with email, you do send an email to them that lands in their inbox, and you basically go to them. So you have to give them value. And basically, the whole method here is about giving value to the people you are going to reach out to. So what you can see on the screen is a masterclass that I'm basically presenting to give value to my potential clients. And in this video, we are going to focus on the number 2 here. And the number 2, like I mentioned, is about giving value. So I'm going to share with you a few campaigns, cold email campaigns you can use to do it. And I'm going to tell you exactly how we've done it with these clients over there. So the first method is the Keynote method, okay? Basically, reach out to someone. Hey, I observe that you are doing this and that. You most likely have this and that problem or desire. And I'm running actually like an executive orientation call in which I'm going to answer these problems and give you solutions to them, and you will be able to apply them. Basically, it's this. And what could be the call, for example, so you send out this email, then you book the call, and in my case, I will present this. Here's the masterclass. Here's how to add $1 million to revenue over the next 12 months, and in a super predictable way, without having to reduce margins or recruit anyone. Okay, this is the value here. So this is what you will do. Then you have the interview methods, which is quite great. And depending on your targets, like some methods will work better than others, right? So you have the interview methods. Basically, it's quite of the same. You do reach out to people, letting them know that you are building a white paper, a report on the industry, on this specific subject. So this is a real-life example, by the way, that landed us crazy results. That is relevant to the target. And you tell them that you would like to interview them for this matter. So they will book the call with you. You open a call, ask them questions. This is basically a self-discovery, so it's amazing for you. And at the end of the call, you will tell them, look, thanks a lot. I'm having a few other interviews over the next few days or weeks. And after this, I will share with you the report with all the insights. So this is my value I'm giving to you. Now, you mentioned this and that problem. And I actually think I could solve these problems and help you go to the next level, for example. And then you start with the sales process. And most of the people, if they do fit the target, they will answer positively, and you will get into a sales process with them. Then we have plenty of other methods. And the method that we've used here with these clients here is the podcast method. So it's why you see like intro podcast. So the podcast method, and I'm going to give you a bit more context on the client, is basically when we are sending out an email saying that, hey, you are fitting these targets, right? I saw you on LinkedIn, I saw you on Instagram, and I'm actually running a podcast in which we are talking about this, and that subject that is relevant to the target. And I'd like to basically interview you in my podcast. And people will reply, yes, sure, let's have a chat. So you do book a quick call with them. And during this quick call, you are going to ask them a few questions to make sure that they qualify for you to maybe work together in the future. And then you are going to plan the podcast. And basically the podcast, it's a 15 to 20 minute call. It also can be like a short, like a soft discovery call that you are running. And you will basically give them access to the recording. It will be your value that you're giving to them. And if you want to publish it, you will publish it on your LinkedIn, for example, and you will expose them to new people. So it's value for them in that sense too. Now, what is interesting for my clients here is that he is growing the revenue of his clients, mainly SaaS and tech companies, in the US market through personal branding of the owner of the company. So basically, you are a founder of a SaaS startup, let's say, and you want to scale, you want to get more inbound leads. Well, this guy will create the full strategy for you to create the content that will be relevant to reach your goals. Then tell you exactly how to build some part of it. He will do some edits, and he will basically build the video for you with his team, and then you will just have to post the videos, and you will grow. You will get like great inbound leads. So he's getting great results like this for his clients, and you can see that it's well aligned with the podcast, because now the value proposition is, let's have a podcast call. After the podcast, I will create a super like highly edited professional short form video based on one of the part of the podcast that you will be able to publish on your social media. For example, to either tell your story, mention what you're doing, like basically something relevant to the target and for them to grow the business. And they get this for free. And you can see that in that case here, the guy is already publishing content on Twitter, and he wants to grow the following on LinkedIn and Instagram. So it's perfectly aligned. And I believe that over the next few days, few weeks, they will have a second amazing call, because I have the podcast call planned tomorrow. And he will be able to convert them, because I will also help him to close the deal, build the sales scripts, handle the objections, and so on, and so on, and so on. So what is the point of this video? Okay, and what to do next? As you understand, today you have to find an indirect way of reaching out to people, because direct ways won't work. And you may say, yeah, cold email is not great for me, or just outreach is not great, it doesn't work, let's wait for referrals. No, you do not have time to wait for referrals. You actually do not have time to wait for referrals, because you have some competitors that are taking market shares today, because they are either running ads, either running cold email, they already have a bigger base of followers on the social medias. You do not have time. So you have to act fast. And one of the fastest way to act is to actually launch cold email tomorrow. Like I mentioned, if you do have at least 3K per month to allocate into growing the lead gen, basically getting more leads, well, invest into advertising, into meta ads. I will recommend, if you are a consultant tech company that is making anywhere in between $500,000 up to 3.5 million per year, and that you are currently running on referrals mainly. Okay, content is also amazing, and it is why I strongly believe that the offer of my clients is amazing here. The only thing is that content takes quite some time to build, and tomorrow I will just send some emails and I will book some calls. Okay, so guys, if you want me to solve this for you, let's have a chat. I will actually present you this whole masterclass here, plus present to you like a full 12 months plan, personalized to you with ROI projections and everything. And I will show you exactly how you can implement this. Again, it's not fake scarcity or anything. You do not have time to wait. And I would strongly recommend you moving forward fast if you want to actually grow the business and add up to 1 million in revenue over the next 12 months. Okay? See you soon.